Hello and welcome to ROJA PARFUMS in the iconic Burlington Arcade. I've been asked today to show you a few of the collection, some of them closest to ROJA and the brand itself, but also just to talk through the range of the entire palette of scents that are suited to any client. So let's start. I'm going to begin with the Haute Luxe collection that you'll see sitting right at the top here. Always takes pride of place. ROJA created the scents because they are very personal to him. Each one has a story related to ROJA. You'll notice that each of the scents come with a purple Swarovski crystal cap, which is also extremely personal to ROJA because it's his favourite colour. You'll notice that the size here is actually an ode to ROJA's diamond ring bought for him by his partner. So as you can see, every part of this has something to do with ROJA himself. So we're going to start with the first scent that sort of begun the brand a lot in terms of its storyline telling, but also for the closest to ROJA himself. So A Goodnight Kiss was one of the first scents that ROJA brought out in the Haute Luxe collection. It's a memory in a bottle, if you like. It's a memory of his mother. One night, ROJA's mother came to kiss him goodnight, and the smell of her face powder and the diamond necklace she was wearing encouraged him to create this scent, and is the comfort level. Every time a client wears this scent, they feel very comforted. So it has a sparkling effect to it, which is due to the aldehydes, but it's a sparkling floral. We call it sparkling floral. We then have the Chypre Extraordinaire, which is one of the most difficult scents ROJA has ever created. It drove him insane making this scent, but his love for Chypres encouraged him to continue doing so, and we ended up with a beautiful, beautiful member of the family here. So Chypres contain woods and mosses on the base. It's quite a technical term to use, but they contain woods and mosses. What's unusual about Chypre is usually you will have a floral note that is disguised by the woods and mosses. So for example, in Chypre Extraordinaire, you have a large note of tuberose, which is taken away with the woods and mosses that are used, and an unusual facet of peach, which runs through the creation, giving it just that much more of a unique. We then have something that is very personal to ROJA, and funnily enough, it's the only other scent that he will wear on his skin, just here to smell, just to smell the scent, to remind himself of how beautiful this creation is. So Great Britain, ROJA was very honoured to receive the Great British Ambassador's Award for perfumery in Britain, so the skill. And so he created this, Great Britain, which has a very unusual note of valerian, but you also have these beautiful undertones of labdanum, which tends to be a leather-like scent, along with a powerful note of leather and ambergris on the base. It is important to say here that ROJA uses natural ambergris. That is why the brand is separate from a lot of the other brands today. The ingredients are some much more costly than gold, ambergris costing substantially 7 times the price of gold. You've got jasmine de grasse costing 5 times the price of gold, and rose de may 4 times. Some of the ingredients are very costly. So to take you to the final part of the collection of the Haute Luxe, we have ROJA's personal scent. We call it ROJA My Perfume. As you will notice in the bottle, you can actually see the 24 karat gold flakes dripping around. That is the cheapest ingredient in this bottle. Again, it's a Chypre, so it's the style of ROJA scent, and this is the only scent he ever wears. It is his own, other than Great Britain, which he will spray just here to smell. So now we're going to move on a little bit more to one of the collections that bears close again to ROJA's heart, mainly because he found an extreme interest in oud. And oud is an ingredient used in the Middle East, which right when ROJA Parfums was being released in Harrods, they were at the forefront of bringing oud into the perfumery industry in the Western world. So ROJA spent 2 weeks every month for 3 years in the Middle East, learning about the scents, learning about mahalet, which essentially is the amalgamation of a lot of different scents in the Middle East in the homes, as well as the idea behind bakhor, which is the scenting of your wardrobe with oud wood and a bakhor burner. So the very first scent that was released was Oud, and we sold out of every single unit in Harrods within 10 days, just demonstrating how popular it was. What's beautiful about Oud in the collection is it gives you that feeling of a parfum. You feel the smokiness coming through, but you've also got Roja Dove, which adds a cooling effect. The second scent out of the Oud collection is your Amber Oud, arguably one of our most recognised scents globally. It has Roja Dove, saffron and pepper, creating something rather unusual, but having placed ambergris, natural ambergris, and the Oud in this creation with amber, this was born in turn. And so Amber Oud stays as one of our most globally recognised scents, and I really recommend, if you're trying for the first time, you give this one a go first. Lastly, to finish off with the main collection of the Oud, I'm going to show you in the smaller bottle here and explain a little bit about that. So Musgold Musk today is illegal, so we can't actually use real, genuine musk. We have to use something as close to natural as possible, because Roja loves natural ingredients. So the natural musk in here is the ombrette seed. Now, it's extremely rare and difficult to find, but we accept nothing but that at Roja, and so Musgold is something for someone who's looking for something a bit more unusual, but on a beautiful soft dry down. It is part of the Chypre family, which basically means it's warm and dry, but again, that's quite technical. Throughout the collection, you have many options in terms of a first introduction to the brand. There's a very wide palette, something here for everybody. So if you'll notice, with on this side you have slightly of the white coloured lids. These would give you an ode towards something slightly more on the floral feminine side, and with your black lids here, the black crystal lids, you're looking for something slightly more on the masculine side, or perhaps more spicy in some of their facets. We have a few collections here that are especially different to many other brands due to the largeness of the compositions we have. So we have the Parfum de la Nuit collection. They are characters of the night time. Number one, beginning with the seducer, and then, or rather the predator, I apologise, the predator. And then we have number two, which is the seducer, and number three, the exoticist. Each of these containing these animalic scents which are addictive to smell. We're not sure why we like to smell them, but they are addictive. They're intoxicating when we smell them. And so the Parfum de la Nuit collection, it isn't for the faint-hearted, but it's certainly for somebody who's looking for a night never to be forgotten. Something that's quite interesting this week in particular, because it's Fragrance Foundation Week, or Fragrance Week, we actually won the Perfume Extraordinaire for this scent, and it's something very close to me as well. I love Britannia. So you have an unusual note of cacao here, which begins the creation. It's of the Oriental style, so it's rich and soft. We would describe it as fruity, powdery, soft and sensual. One of Roja's most famous scents here would be called Diaghilev. Diaghilev was a man who had no qualms about being who he wanted to be, and so he broke all boundaries and was quite baroque, if you like, in his style. So containing a bold amount of 32 raw materials and a huge prominent note of oak moss, Diaghilev really is not for the faint-hearted, but it's one of the most, if not the most, baroque scent out of the entire collection. We are very well known for Diaghilev, and it's again something that is close to Roja. Another beautiful collection here at Roja Parfums is the Parfum Cologne collection. In my eyes, and my recommendation to you, if you're wanting to extend longevity of a favourite scent, I would go for a Parfum, use it in the morning, and then in your evening time, refresh it with your Parfum Cologne. So you're refreshing those top notes, but essentially still enjoying your heart and base with the perfume. The Parfum Cologne collection is essentially a collection which has the freshness of an eau de cologne, but the longevity of an eau de parfum. Best of both worlds. But these tend to be beautifully fresh and again still as refined and complex as our perfumes. Just recently we have released a brand new collection for the ladies' side, which is called our Essence de Parfum collection. In this collection we explore something a little easier to wear, but also again the idea of refreshing those notes in the evening time after you've worn your perfume in the morning. One of my favourite items here at ROJA Parfums, and is something that I can almost use from the collection and get to know the perfumer himself, is our Pour Maison collection just here. So in the Pour Maison, again, it's a beautifully balanced palette of scents for you to create your own impression in your home. You could start with something like a lavender in the bedroom and a rose in the hallway, leading through to something of the exclusives from one of the stores we're based in. In Fortnum & Mason, we have a beautiful exclusive in the candle collection called Taif Oud. In this creation, Roja explores aldehydes to push through the Taif rose, which is very rare and very costly. This again could be amalgamated with the scents to make something completely bespoke. If you're not a fan of the candle collection, you could perhaps try something along the lines of the reed diffusers. As I'm sure you might already know, reed diffusers will diffuse a scent 24/7 and allow you to always experience the scent. Candles, you could turn them off when you like or turn them on and leave them on for a short amount of time and close the lid just before your guests arrive. The collection is probably one of the most beautiful home collections I've ever come across, and certainly would recommend coming into either one of our boutiques in Harrods, Selfridges or Fortnum & Mason, or perhaps even visiting here at Burlington Arcade, number 51, to discover the ROJA Parfums collection.